Phrases I do buy into as a therapist. You marry your unfinished business. The reason I do buy into this as a therapist is because I see so many clients attracted to the same types of people as the people who hurt them in the past. It's this concept called mastery. We have something traumatic happen to us, or we experience adverse childhood experiences or adverse relationships early on in life, and our nervous system becomes comfortable and familiar with those types of people and those types of situations. Now, pointing this out is not intended to blame or shame anyone. I am not saying that you are attracted to toxic people and that you're doing it on purpose. What I'm saying is that oftentimes these people present themselves as being quite different from the experience that you grew up in. And we think that we're doing the opposite, but then over time, similarities emerge or patterns emerge that make us realize, oh, we might be in a similar situation. And let me be clear that that also does not mean we're doomed to keep making this pattern a reality. In therapy, what we might do is start to identify when this pattern is a reality, or identify how the people in our lives do emulate someone who has harmed us in the past, for example. And then we try to understand how we can do things differently. A great example of this is in the dating stage, where maybe you realize that you have a pattern of being attracted to the spark. And then when you identify that the spark is actually a warning signal versus a signal that the person is the right person for you, you start to get comfortable and familiar with first dates that maybe feel calm or feel like you're at peace. Maybe they're not life-changing, transformational, this is so exciting, but maybe that's actually better for your nervous system. Maybe the more difficult example of already being in a relationship with somebody and realizing that you're repeating those patterns and that you don't want to continue to do that anymore, and potentially leaving that relationship. And please remember, I don't say any of this lightly. I know that this is a very difficult thing to identify and to change. When we start to make those changes after we do realize that we're making these same patterns a reality, it can actually be really empowering to be doing something different and to feel differently in relationships, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, because our nervous system is so uncomfortable with unfamiliar things. But after time, the new pattern can emerge, and you can actually feel like you're mastering your childhood trauma because you really are doing something differently. You're not just thinking that you're doing something differently and then doing more of the same. So tell me what you think of this one and whether or not you buy into it too. I am always open to healthy discourse in these comments. I would love to hear what you think. Bye, guys.